Thank you so much, Rachel. It is such an honor to be able to bring the most interesting people in the world to NEXUS. And I have one here with me today who you're going to learn about his journey and about Love Your Melon. And let's start with that. You were a 20-year-old college student in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in frozen Northland. And somehow this idea came to you. Take us through it.
Thank you for having me. So I'm 25 years old now. I was 20 years old when I started this company. And
I'm 26.
Okay. Good. I'll be there soon. So we were sitting in an entrepreneurship class in our sophomore year of college, and our teachers told us that day that we had to start a business. And so we were scratching our heads like, what do we do? And we're looking around, we're like, all right, it's pretty cold here. We need to make some warm products for people to wear in the wintertime. And so we decided to make beanies. And so that was our first idea for this business project. But we didn't want it to just end after the semester. We didn't want it to just make some money and then be done with it. We decided at the very beginning we were gonna make a difference for somebody else. And so we set out with these beanies to decide who we could help and who would need them most. We were reading the book by the Tom Shoes founder, and loved the Buy One, Give One project. And so we set out to give a beanie for everyone we sold. That class project lasted a couple months, and then I dropped out of school and set a new goal to give a beanie to every kid battling cancer in the country, which we accomplished in a year and a half. And now Love Your Melon is this giant company that it is today. We've got 35 employees, still based in the cold tundra, so we make lots of cool, warm products, all made in the USA, and we support kids battling cancer. And now that we've given a hat to every kid in the country battling cancer, we're working on giving hats internationally and also giving 50% of our profit to cancer research and family support. So.
And full disclosure, we get the privilege of helping Zachary and his team run the Love Your Melon Foundation that helps distribute this money to worthy organizations that support children's cancer. Do you want to show a quick video before we talk about some of the campus crews and other things?
Yeah, so this is our mission video. For those of you that don't know about Love Your Melon, I think it'll give you a good sense.
At Love Your Melon, we're dedicated to changing the story. When a child is battling cancer, their story is too often defined by a lack of funding, a lack of research, and a lack of awareness. We are here to change this. We believe we can change the story for children and families battling cancer. By providing warm hats, therapeutic experiences, and financial support, heartbreak can become healing. Despair can become hope. And a story of pain can become a story of strength. A child battling cancer can become a superhero. And we are here to help write that story.
So, Zachary is somewhat of a marketing genius. There are no retail stores that sell the Love Your Melon product, and yet millions sell. So what I would love for you to talk about for a minute is some of the marketing ideas. And let's start with the campus crews. You have about 10,000 people as your ambassadors, all volunteers working for Love Your Melon. Tell us how that happened and what it involves.
Yeah, so we have a few different influencer programs and ambassador programs. Some deal with celebrities that want to help these kids. Some deal with micro-influencers on Instagram and other platforms where they're posting. But one of the coolest ones we run is a campus crew program. And at over 800 colleges across the country, we've got over 10,000 volunteer ambassadors. And they're the ones that distribute the hats to kids in the hospital. And so we decided really early on, it was one thing to give a hat away to a kid, but you kind of got to tell the story too and make the hat important to them. So it makes sense that a child battling cancer that loses their hair needs a warm beanie. but they need a beanie with a story, so they're gonna wanna wear it and that it's like a cool hat to wear. And so the first hats we started to deliver were with these professional athletes and Santa Claus and other people. But we realized that if we dressed as superheroes, we could fit in with all these like really cool people. And the kids would look at us and be like, oh, Batman and Superman gave me this beanie, I love it. And so we started this crew program for other college students across the country to give away these beanies. And now we have over 10,000 of them. They're an incredible force of people that are influential in many other ways than just volunteering for giving away the hats. They also spread awareness. They do Be the Match swap drives. They do Make-A-Wish events. They just volunteer and do incredible things in their free time.
So many people in the audience are involved in organizations that do well by doing good. When you hear the story of Love Your Melon, it's hard not to be able to imagine how good it feels to come to work every day to make a product where you're literally helping kids all over the country battle something as difficult as childhood cancer. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Superheroes book that you created that imbues kids with 4 different
Yeah, so at first we were wearing Batman and Superman costumes, but as you saw in that video that we just played, there were some other costumes that we've designed ourselves, and we wrote a children's book to tell their story. And so the children's book itself embodies all of the characteristics that a child battling cancer has. It's very indirect, it's for any kid to read, and people really enjoy it. My girlfriend's a teacher, and she read it to her class, and it's the only book she said that the kids begged her to read again. And it's a really motivational, cool book, and they battle this robot, but then they become friends with the robot at the end. And it's cool, because then these kids read this book in the hospital, and then the superheroes come visit them a week later, and they get to see their favorite character out of the book and be wearing their beanie like the superhero's wearing.
Was there, in the growth of Love Your Melon, was there ever an idea that you thought, this is really going to be great, and it didn't work? Or was there ever a situation where you weren't sure about something and you tried it and it succeeded phenomenally?
Yeah, kind of how the superhero idea began in its infancy. We thought it was a good idea to go buy this tour bus and drive around the country dressed as superheroes and visit children's hospitals, because that's the only way we knew at that point we'd be able to give away all these beanies to these kids. And so this is a story probably of both good and bad ideas. I mean, like, it was a crazy idea to begin with, one that we weren't ever sure was going to succeed, and it led to us getting on the Today Show and Good Morning America, and our site crashed like 20 times while we were on tour with all this like media coverage, and then these kids on these campuses were what inspired us to create that crew program. And so much beauty came out of us driving around what was this old hockey coach bus that we bought for $10,000 with almost 1 million miles on it. And it became this beautiful story of how college kids across the country can make a difference themselves if they just take a chance.
You know, NEXUS is an organization that's very international. There are people here from countries all over the world, including San Francisco. There's, if you were here last night, you know that joke. You've recently begun to grow the company internationally, right? Can you tell us something about that, your experiences internationally?
Yeah, so one of the big steps I touched on earlier is that we're now giving away beanies all across the world, but we're also giving funding. We've always looked at our job in our communities as doing a holistic approach, a very circular mentality of making products here, selling to customers here, and then being able to help children and families here. And that's all inside the US. But now we have customers in Canada, the UK, Australia. Those are just the big ones, but all across the world, over 100 different countries. And so it's just really influential for us to be able to now go and help those kids there, fund nonprofits in their work there, and then also be able to support the jobs there. So we're gonna start opening up new factories and partnerships in Canada, the UK to start, and then work on new projects there. One really cool one's coming up. It's called the BBC Children in Need program. So any of you that are from the UK, they raise about $60 million in a day. And we're gonna be the official hat for Children in Need in the UK with the BBC. And the Pudsey logo is gonna be dead center on the hat for any of you that are from there. we're really excited for that.
You were also the official hat for the Super Bowl this year, weren't you? For the NFL.
Yeah, that was cool.
So you have another video. Do you want to cue that
I
up?
think it might be kind of long, but probably more interesting than me. So our crew
Yeah.
program members are really incredible people, and as I said, they do a lot more than just give away hats. And this is about one of our partner organizations, made possible through the Giving Back Fund. We give to Be the Match, and we do swab drives. So this is going to tell the story of one of our crew members that made a difference.
Out of all the people in the world, I could be someone's only shot at another chance. I needed to be that person. Last spring, through Love Your Melon, I learned about Be the Match. They help patients with blood cancer find a bone marrow donor. In April, my Love Your Melon campus crew put on a swab drive, and that's when I joined the Be the Match registry. It had only been a few months since I joined the registry, and honestly, I never thought I would be chosen as a match for a patient. But one day in October, all of that changed. I had a lot of questions about donating, but I did my research and Be the Match was there every step of the way. I learned that the process is far less scary than I originally thought. It's actually similar to donating blood. My Love Your Melon crew was there cheering me on so I could be the cure someone was desperately waiting for. I found out my match was female and could be someone's mom. I couldn't help but think, what if this was my family? I knew that helping this woman would not only save her life, but also everyone around her. If my mom needed someone to save her life by donating bone marrow, I would want them to say yes and follow through. My donation date is set for February. Reflecting on what I've gone through during the last few months, I've come to realize that you have the choice to donate and be someone's match. But patients don't have that choice. They need a match to save their life. You can be someone's second chance. You can be their match by joining the Be the Match registry.
So this is a group of incredible idealists, activists, entrepreneurs, people who really and truly want to change the world. You're doing it in a very unique way, and you're extending it now internationally. Is there anything that this group of people can do to help you, or any way that they might be able to be involved in your future enterprises?
Yeah, and as we're growing internationally, the biggest part is we need new links, new connections to whether it's campuses that want to start a crew program and start giving away hats, or customers, or like wholesale accounts, or corporate partnerships like we're doing with the BBC and PUDSI. Those are the ideas that we need. Those are the connections we need so that we can grow this in all these communities across the world. In the US, we've given over $4.5 million to cancer research to date. That'll grow every year as we continue selling products and as we continue growing internationally. So as much as you can help with that, and in helping us to understand other cultures better and what works there and what the needs are there, because everything works differently, whether you've got universal health care in other countries and you need more therapeutic support for these kids. And so just understanding that, coming to the table and having this conversation with us and bringing awareness to childhood cancer is a really important topic to get back to, because the drugs, the research isn't there like it is for adult cancers because the population is so much smaller. And so we have a lot of work to do, and really just making these kids happy at the end of the day is worthwhile. So thank you guys. And another thing, we've got a new program that we're launching, which is called our Beanie Gifting Machine Initiative. So in addition to the superheroes, which go in about every week to every month in every children's hospital in the country, and we'll start going around the world, we're gonna be putting these, what are beanie vending machines, but they're free for the kids in the hospital in every children's hospital we work with. And we've got one here today. It's kind of a scavenger hunt. They had it downstairs. It might be upstairs now because of the Wi-Fi. But we've got 100 beanies to give away in there. So after this, you guys, if you get there first, you get a beanie. Otherwise, well, you can if you want. it could be a mad rush, but there'll be enough, and we'll always come back to NEXUS because we really love being here. So thank you guys.